Hello and welcome to Zip News. With less than 2 years left as President of the United States, Barack Obama is desperate to seal his legacy. After being routinely criticised as less than effective in domestic matters, President Obama has turned his focus towards foreign policy. Breakthroughs in US-Cuban relations and a landmark nuclear deal with Iran seem to have elevated his status as a world leader. But as always in American politics, nobody seems to be happy. Why? Let's take a look. Iran has been a problem for the West since the 1979 revolution. In response, the United States imposed sanctions, which were increased in 1995. In 2006, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 1696 to suspend Iran's uranium enrichment program. The failure to respond to that measure led to tighter sanctions in 6 more resolutions, finishing with Resolution 1929 in 2010. But it was clear that sanctions would not stop Iran and its nuclear program. The West had no problem with the country using nuclear energy, but couldn't trust it not to develop nuclear weapons. So, led by the US, the P5+1, or the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany, tried a different tact. In April, the group reached a provisional agreement that would lift most of the sanctions in exchange for limits on Iran's nuclear programs, extending for at least 10 years. But surprise, surprise, the Republican Party was not happy. Congress demanded a review of the deal. The White House stepped up its lobbying to persuade Democratic senators to abandon the bipartisan bill that would give Congress oversight of a final deal, potentially sabotaging what Obama had hoped would be a legacy-defining foreign policy achievement. He's now conceded that Congress will have the power to review the deal, having given in to pressure from Republicans and some sections of his own party. But if Iran doesn't work out, there's always Cuba. In December last year, President Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro announced the beginning of a historic warming of relations between the two countries, which has now become known as the Cuban Thaw. The agreement, negotiated with the help of Pope Francis, would see the lifting of some travel restrictions, fewer restrictions on remittances, US banks' access to the Cuban financial system, and the reopening of embassies in Havana and Washington. Cuban-American Republican Party members Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz savaged the agreement, describing it as a tragic mistake that provided legitimacy to a government that doesn't deserve it. Even Cuban Democrat Bob Menendez chimed in, criticising Obama for compromising on bedrock US values and wrongly rewarding a totalitarian regime. With the trickling through of candidacy nominations for the 2016 presidential campaign, time is running out for Obama to prove that he can get things done. Obamacare still carries plenty of stigma, and though it may be viewed favourably in years to come, he can't rely on the landmark healthcare bill to hang his hat on. Iran and Cuba are a different story, but he'll have to wrest back control of the narrative. I'm Jack Fuller. Thanks for watching.